Hey gamers, welcome back to Creative Gamerz. If you've been looking for the best Nintendo Switch emulator for Android, this one's going to impress you. Today, we're checking out the Switch Emulator V4 RC2. This emulator just got a brand new update, and it's looking smoother, faster, and more stable than ever. It's another release candidate build, meaning it's almost ready for a full version, and the developers have packed it with improvements across performance, compatibility, and visuals. I'll walk you through the setup, best settings, and some real gameplay tests to see how it performs on mobile. The new V4 RC2 update brings smoother gameplay and better stability. Games like CTG PDX and Skyline mods now run properly with the new ASLR fixes, and crashes in Pokemon ZA have been resolved. Performance is faster with lower latency and improved loading times. Android users get small bug fixes and a cleaner interface, plus better support for Snapdragon devices with custom GPU drivers. Before we start the setup, here's what you'll need: the Eden APK, the prod.keys file, a firmware file, and of course, your own Nintendo Switch games in XCI or NSP format. Once you've got everything ready, open the emulator and enable notifications. Then, install your product keys from storage. After that, install the firmware file. This process may take a few minutes, so be patient. Once it's done, set up your game directories. The emulator supports both XCI and NSP game formats. When everything is installed correctly, you'll land on the home screen, where all your games will be displayed in one place. Now let's move on to the best settings for smooth gameplay. Head into Advanced Settings and then open the System Settings section. Here, change the limit speed option to 200%. This allows your phone to reach full performance, unlocking smoother 60 FPS gameplay in supported titles. Scroll down to the web token option and click Generate, which will create a random token for you. Then enter any username of your choice under Web Username. These settings are important if you plan to use any form of online functionality. Next, go into the graphics settings. Set the accuracy level to normal and the resolution to balanced, 0.75x. For lower-end phones, you can drop this to 0.5x for extra FPS. There's no need to enable force maximum clocks, leave it off. Turn on asynchronous shaders for smoother rendering, and set VSync mode to immediate, which effectively turns off VSync for lower input delay. Scroll down and change the aspect ratio to stretch to window. Back in the advanced menu, you'll find a setting called Device Overlay. This shows real-time stats like CPU usage and FPS, but if you don't need it, you can turn it off for a cleaner look. Now let's open the Eden'svale section inside Advanced Settings. Here, set the extended dynamic state to 1 or 2, depending on how powerful your device is. The higher the value, the better the visual fidelity, but it may use more resources. Then set VRAM usage mode to aggressive, which helps the emulator utilize GPU memory more efficiently. That's pretty much all you need for advanced performance tuning. Finally, go back to the main settings and scroll down to GPU driver settings. Eden supports custom GPU drivers for Snapdragon devices. Tap on Fetch and check the recommended driver options. I'm using Mr. Purple Turnip T22, which works really well on Snapdragon 8 Gen series processors. If you're using a different processor that's not Snapdragon-based, it's best to stick with the default system driver. Once this is done, your setup is complete, and the emulator is ready for testing. Now let's see how the emulator performs with some real gameplay tests. First up, Red Dead Redemption. This one ran surprisingly well, averaging around 35 FPS on my device, which is completely playable and feels smooth during exploration and combat. The visuals hold up nicely, with consistent frame pacing and no major stutters. On the Citron emulator, the same game only reached about 5 to 8 FPS, so it's clear that Eden V4 is miles ahead when it comes to optimization and overall performance stability. Next, I tested Pokemon Legends ZA, which performed at around 30 to 35 FPS. There are still some flickering issues, but overall the game runs much smoother than before. You can test it on your own device and share your results in the comments. Moving on to Dragon Ball Kakarot, the game loads up fine, but after the Bandai Namco logo, it completely freezes at 0 FPS. I tried resetting my settings, but the issue remained, so for now, this one isn't playable. However, this seems to be just a temporary issue with the new RC version, since previous builds of Eden were able to run this game without any problems. Lastly, I tested The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and I was genuinely impressed. The game looks beautiful and runs at around 25 FPS, which is stable and playable even at default settings. With an FPS boost mod, this could easily reach around 40 FPS, but even without it, the experience was smooth enough for casual play. Overall, Switch Emulator V4 RC2 is one of the best and most stable Nintendo Switch emulators currently available for Android. It delivers strong performance, consistent frame rates, and great compatibility with most major games. While a few titles still have issues like freezes or minor glitches, each new update makes noticeable improvements. If you're looking for a reliable way to enjoy your Switch library on Android, Eden is absolutely worth trying out. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more emulator updates, setup guides, and performance tests. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay creative, gamers.